You all do a fundraiser. Your biggest one is Collaboration Collective. And can
Mhm.
you talk about that? And it's been rebranded too. And is there a reason behind that?
So originally was Collaboration Brew Day, but as we have expanded our membership, like I said, we used to just be women in beer. Now we're women and non-binary, and then it was beer, and then we've opened it up to cider and kombucha and just anything fermented or alcohol, so spirits. But we were hearing from some of our members, like, and I know we used to have quite a few members in the Philadelphia area that work for the spirits, and they're like, well, how do we participate in collaboration? They would come to the brew day that one of the breweries was hosting, but they just felt like their businesses couldn't really collaborate because it was called Collaboration Brew Day and they don't brew. So we've looked at and like, since we expanded it and trying to be more inclusive, we've rebranded it to Collaboration Collective. You can host a brew day, you can host a cider making day. There was a chapter in Pittsburgh. They made hot sauce one year, and we've recently had some members who made bitters using the Pink Boots Hop Blend. So they have cocktail bitters. And like for me, when I sold my brewery, I sold my brewery first and kept and kept some of the restaurants. Um, it was like, I would go to the brew days and then usually at my restaurants, I would buy the different collaboration beers and put them on and do an event and then donate some money back. But it was always like I was kind of on the outskirts of collaboration brew day but like this is kind of opening it all up that now I can have a collaboration collective event pouring the different brew days or the spirits or the cider and just really leaving it open for our members to have, be creative with whether it's a beer or a cider or whatever they're producing, but at the
T-shirt
same time,
merch.
yeah, be creative with, we have a group of members from the Bountiful Bag that make um, bags and all out of used malt grain bags. So like, we can all pull this in together and be a little more inclusive of what everybody is doing that are members of Pink Boots. So
There is a map. There's a link that's on your website for the Collaboration Collective, and it tells about what it is. But there's also a map on there, and it says this year's participating businesses. And we talked about how you're international. Uh, it's literally New Zealand, Hong Kong, Japan, like most of Europe,
mhm.
Canada. It's impressive.